Who do you think you are? Scooby? Dooby?
Yeah! Here we go now! Here we go now! Here we go now! Here we go now!
Oh yeah!
Here we go now! Here we go now!
Alright, I got a viewer request on my floating shelves. They wanted to know how I put them together or how I made them. Now, I don't actually make the shelves. I just paint them after I get them, and then I add the different logos to them. So let me give you a little history about the floating shelves. I originally wanted to go with 3 separate shelves just for the helmets. And when I got the shelves, they didn't work out, so I had to go with a longer shelf. So I ended up having 3 of these logos because I was going to do 3 separate shelves. And when I went to this one longer shelf, I decided to go with these little, I don't know what you call them, just little acrylic black, silver, and blue pieces to kind of give a visual break between each of the helmets, since I couldn't go with the 3 separate shelves. And I'll let you know why I couldn't go with the 3 separate shelves at the time. I actually have an Ikea shelf in the other room that I'm going to show you and why those don't work. And that's how we came across these kind of shelves that I make now. Again, originally the wall was going to have this big shelf, some lightsabers, and some posters, and that was it. And that was just about a year ago. And now it's just keeps growing. So let's look at the floating shelf really quickly. If you don't know what one is, it just has this wood bracket. Sometimes they come in metal. And you just use some drywall anchors, put the screws in, make sure it's level, and then it just slides on. Makes it really easy to work on stuff, especially if you're doing the dioramas like I'm doing. You just take the shelf down, you work on it, and then put it back up. So we're going to take a closer look at this, and a closer look at the Ikea shelves, which are a hunk of crap. Alright. This is an Ikea shelf. Now, they don't come with those kind of wall brackets. What they come with is these, what they're called keyhole brackets, which are literally impossible to use on a floating shelf. I mean, first of all, you'd have to have a flat wall, which I don't. My wall's textured. So first, like I said, flat wall you'd need. And secondly, you'd have to have it just perfectly flush, so when you use the 2 screws, it locks into place. And even if you locked it into place, it most likely is not going to be level. It's going to start sloping, and if you put anything over a pound on it, it'll definitely start sloping. So these are a piece of shit. Stay away from them. Unless you use an L bracket to hold these up, which then defeats the purpose really of having a floating shelf. Ikea, no good. For my old viewers, they'll know how many times I went on a rant regarding those shelves. So now we have this shelf. Has the logo on it. And like I said, the 2 acrylic pieces. Now the logo, they're actually card trunk decals. They're made out of plastic and they got like a chrome finish on them. They got self-adhesive on the back, and you just stick them right onto the shelf. Now, my shelves are 2 inches thick. So that gives it enough room for the logo to fit on there. So if you're going to do a floating shelf, make sure it's 2 inches in height. And then the acrylic pieces, I get those from my acrylic guy who's done my Back to the Future sign as well as my Empire sign. It's kind of a creation. I just called him up one day and I said, hey, can you make these little pieces square, couple inches, 2 inches high? And he said, what do you need those for? And I explained, and so he's been making them for me ever since. So if you actually need some, I can put you in touch with the vendor, and I can also put you in touch with the vendor that makes these shelves. Now, on the shelves, the guy that makes the shelves for me now is not the same one that made them for me last year. Those were a little bit better quality. And I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm just saying the first set that I had made were a little bit better, but these are just as well. And the guy can make them for you. It's just size, any size you want. But again, You really don't want to go more than about 6 inches out this way. A couple of my shelves go 12 to 14, and on those I actually have to do an additional L bracket, which I'll go back in the wall and show you really quickly. So that's it. Shelf, acrylic pieces, this decal, and then I get the shelf in black, and then I just do a light frosting of silver paint to give it kind of a space look. I just randomly do it. I don't do any particular pattern. And that's it. That's the shelf. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below. If you have any other video requests, let me know as well. And just to show you on the L bracket, this is the one for the R2. Because he's so heavy and because this actually comes out 12 inches, it does need the additional support. So I do the L bracket and then I just painted the bracket the same color as the wall. So unless you get it really close, like this, you can't even see it. Alrighty, so until next time, talk to you guys later.